Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm continuing with my David Bowie discography journey, and we have made it to his 23rd studio album from 2002 called Heathen. Now, it does say here that although its production had started before the September 11th attacks in 2001, the album was finished after that date, which resulted in the concept of the album being influenced by the attacks. However, David Bowie did deny that any of the album's songs were written after September 11th, 2001, though he admitted that the songs deal with the general feeling of anxiety that he'd had in America for a number of years. He later on said that it was written as a deeply questioning album, but it's not really trying to resolve any trauma from the September 11th attacks. Now, there are 12 tracks on the album. The album is 52 minutes. And other than that, I have nothing else to say at the moment. So let's jump into the first track, track 1, Sunday.
Nothing remains or signs of life. Look for the shafts of light. Everything has changed, and nothing has changed. It's the beginning of an end.
That was track 1, Sunday, and I loved the atmosphere of this track. The overall ambience of the instrumental, it was so haunting, but beautiful to listen to. It kind of sounds like a somber hymn. Definitely much different from his last few albums from the 90s, even the 80s as well. Everything has changed, for in truth, it's the beginning of nothing, and nothing has changed. Everything has changed, for in truth, it's the beginning of an end. In your fear, seek only peace of what we have become. In your fear, seek only love. Take to the fire. In your fear, now we must burn. All that we are, in your fear, seek only love, rise together. I liked the transition towards the end where the drums kick in, which was a nice surprise. I also want to say that Heathen marked the return of record producer Tony Visconti, who had last worked with David on Scary Monsters and Super Creeps from 1980. So this is the first time they have worked together in 22 years. Wow. I mean, overall, production-wise, and his voice is so somber. I mean, this is the most somber I think I've ever heard his vocals. So let's move on to track 2, Cactus.
Sitting here wishing on a cement floor. Will you take off your dress and send it to me? I miss your kiss and then I miss your hair. Make your dress all wet and send it to me. I miss your suit and I miss your breath. Just wear that dress when you die. Just wishing that I had just something you wore. Wipe it on your dress and send it to me. Just wishing that I had just something you wore.
That was track 2, Cactus. Another great song on the album. I'm loving this album so far. I really am. And it definitely has a different vibe than a lot of his prior albums I've listened to recently. There's just something different about it. Also his singing, I think it's his singing. There's something about his singing that it's just the vibe I'm getting. It's quite different. I love the riffs on this track and the overall guitar work, and I was rocking out a little bit. Now it looks like this is actually a cover of the Pixies song from 1988. David Bowie recorded a version of the song for his Heathen album. This version features David, spelled in the break, David, which I thought was fun. David spelling out his own name. Will you take off your dress and send it to me? I miss your kissing and I miss your head. And a letter in your writing doesn't mean you're not dead. Just run outside in the desert heat, make your dress all wet, and send it to me. I miss your soup and I miss your bread. And a letter in your writing doesn't mean you're not dead. So spill your breakfast and drip your wine. Just wear that dress when you dine. David. I like the lyrics on this track. I like the story. And if I didn't know this was a cover, I just would have assumed David wrote this song because this sounds like a song David would have written. I'm really hoping that he keeps up the momentum of this album through all the tracks because so far, 2 tracks in, I'm having a great time. So let's move on to track 3, Slip Away.
Boogie waits for just another day to see the Yankees play. Oh, they slip away. Once a time, they nearly might have been. No one knew what they could do. They slip away. Don't forget to keep your head warm. Watching all the world at war torn. Sailing over Coney Island. We were dumb, but you were fun, boy. Who knew? Some of us will always stay. It's always 1982. What's the matter with you? Slip away. Oh, twinkle, twinkle, Uncle Floyd. How I wonder where you are. Twinkle, twinkle, Uncle Floyd. How I wonder where you are.
That was track 3, Slip Away. Ooh. This has to be, I think this is my favorite track on the album so far. I loved the overall instrumental of this track. I like the piano and the strings and the synthesizer. Just everything was so magical. This sounds like old school David Bowie. This sounds like a track he could have released back in the 70s. I mean, what a talented guy. Not only was he the vocalist on this album, but he did the keyboards, the guitars, the saxophone, the stylophone, the backing vocals, and the drums. No one knew what they could do except for me and you. They slip away. Don't forget to keep your head warm. Twinkle, twinkle, Uncle Floyd, watching all the world and war toward. How I wonder where you are. Sailing over Coney Island, twinkle, twinkle, Uncle Floyd. We were dumb, but you were fun, boy. How I wonder where you are. Some of us will always stay behind. Down in space, it's always 1982. David Bowie wrote this song in homage to New Jersey's own Uncle Floyd Vivino, a vaudeville-style comedian and pianist who for 20 plus years hosted the Uncle Floyd Show. And that is something I would never have guessed. Because I've never heard of this show before. Now, Floyd Vivino, also known as Uncle Floyd, is an American television, film, and stage performer, primarily known for his comedy variety TV show, The Uncle Floyd Show, which ran from 1974 until 1998. And unfortunately, he did die. Oh no, he didn't die. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. He's not dead. Okay, he's still alive. He's 70 years old. He also holds the Guinness Book of World Record for the longest time playing a piano. Wow. I mean, that's what it says on Wikipedia, so I'm assuming it's true. But anyway, let's move on to track 4, Slow Burn. That was track 4, Slow Burn, and this is another wonderful track on the album. I didn't know what to make of it initially the first minute or so, but then towards the middle and then towards the end, it definitely grew on me, and I love it, especially that chorus. It's so catchy, and his vocals, and the overall production, of course, is fire, and I essentially liked everything about it. Now, this was released as the lead single from the album. Here shall we live in this terrible town, where the price for our eyes shall squeeze them tight like a fist, and the walls shall have eyes, and the doors shall have ears, but we'll dance in the dark, and they'll play with our lives like a slow bird. Ooh, this is so spooky. This whole album is kind of, it's just a little bit on the darker side, I won't lie, just the overall tone and some of these lyrics and his vocals. It's a darker album for sure. Though the years snare them all like a slow bird, leading us on and on and on, twirling us around and upside down. There's fear overhead, there's fear over ground. He does sing about fear and also this terrible town. So fear and this terrible town. He also sings about eyes being squeezed in a fist, and the walls have eyes, and The Doors have ears. Now, someone's interpretation of the song is they think the song is about New York. New York attracts people who are chasing dreams. And this can go on for years and decades while your friends back home age and get married and move on. But the dream keeps you hanging on. That's the slow burn. Someone else said that David is encouraging all of us that feel different to keep on going, to keep dancing in the dark. Another captivating song on the album, and so far, 4 for 4, I've loved all of these songs so far. So let's move on to track 5, Afraid.
I wish I was smarter. But I put my face in tomorrow. I believe in people. Yes, I'm still so afraid. On my own, what made my life so wonderful? I used to wake up in the ocean. If I fulfill navigation, if I can talk on television, feel afraid. I won't be afraid anymore.
That was track 5, Afraid, and this is another good song on the album. It's not one of my favorites. It's probably my least favorite track so far, but I would still listen to it again. I like the overall instrumental. I like, of course, the guitar work. I like the drums. I like the violins, and I thought it was a very pleasant song to listen to. I also love the lyrics. I wish I was smarter. I got so lost on the shore. I wish I was taller. Same. Things really matter to me, but I put my face in tomorrow. I believe we're not alone. I believe in Beatles, as in the Beatles. I believe my little soul has grown, and I'm still so afraid. Yeah, I'm still so afraid. What made my life so wonderful? What made me feel so bad? I used to wake up the ocean. I used to walk on clouds. If I put faith in medication, if I could smile a crooked smile, if I could talk on television, if I could walk an empty mile, then I won't feel afraid anymore. This seems to be a very personal song. It's very introspective. Now, someone here did say that they think the song is about depression, perhaps. Worried about the little things like not being taller, and you always feel afraid and alone. Plus, you wonder what the hell changed, what made my life so wonderful when I was happy. In the song, David is pointing out his insecurities. He's telling us that he wishes he was smarter, he wishes he was taller, and he believes in the Beatles, and he also says he puts his faith in medication. If I can smile a crooked smile, if I can talk on television, then I won't feel afraid. He seems to be harboring fear for these insecurities and praising the things that he needs to do so he doesn't feel afraid. But I think the most powerful lyric here is what made my life so wonderful. What made me feel so bad. I think out of all the songs I've listened to so far on Heathen, this is lyrically definitely one of the strongest. Just because, for me anyway, it's just so personal. But anyway, let's move on to track 6, I've Been Waiting for You.
Coming to me with such a long time now. tomorrow. For such a long time now. For such a long time now.
That was track 6, I've Been Waiting for You, and the highlight of this song for me was the production. I thought it was pretty amazing to listen to, especially the guitar work. I thought it was fantastic. But when it comes to the lyrics and just the overall melody, I didn't find this song particularly intriguing like some of the other tracks I've listened to. Lyrically, this is probably my least favorite song on the album so far. I've been looking for a woman to save my life, not to beg or to borrow. A woman with a feeling of losing once or twice. Who knows how it could be tomorrow. I've been waiting for you, and you've been coming to me for such a long time now. Lyrically, for me anyway, it doesn't really fit in with all the other songs I've listened to so far. And I guess there's a reason for that, because this is a cover of the 1968 Neil Young song. Now, David Bowie's version features Dave Grohl from Nirvana on guitar. Yes! Honestly, I loved the production on this track, the guitar work, like I said already, and I've never listened to a Nirvana album before, so ideas. Even though I enjoyed the overall instrumental on this track, I still wouldn't go back to it as much as some of the prior tracks I've already listened to. So let's move on to track 7, I Would Be Your Slave.
Walking in the snowy street, drifting down a silent path. Show me who you are. Do you sleep in quietude? Do you laugh out loud at me? Show me all you are. I don't sit and wait. No footprints in the sand. Give me peace of mind at last. I don't sit around and wait. I don't see the point at all. Nothing else is free.
That was track 7, I Would Be Your Slave. This is another great song on the album, and I'm coming to realize that I have a preference for the more moodier and atmospheric tracks on the album. Open Up Your Heart to Me, Show Me Who You Are, and I Would Be Your Slave. I don't sit around and wait. I don't give a damn. I don't see the point at all. No footprints in the sand. There's something quite beautiful about this track, but also very distant and almost hollow and sad. And I like it. His vocals also were quite touching as well. Another highlight of the song for me were the strings. I love the violins on this album. I mean, David Bowie is still pumping out quality music this far into his career, over 30 years. I would give you all my love, nothing else is free. Open up your heart to me, and I would be your slave. One can only imagine who he is singing about in particular. Someone said he could be singing about God, or he could actually be singing about a person, but as to who knows. But let's move on to track 8, I Took a Trip on a Gemini Spaceship.
Took a trip on a Gemini spacecraft. I passed through the shadow of Jupiter. I shot my space gun. 2 or 3 flying saucers hopped under the stars. I took a trip in a Gemini spacecraft. I shot my space gun. Boy, I really felt free. Jumped into your Gemini, jumped into mine. We've orbit the moon. Took a trip on a Gemini spacecraft. And I thought about you. Yes, what did I do? Well, I thought about you.
That was track 8, I Took a Trip on a Gemini Spaceship, and this was a lot of fun to listen to. And I would love to hear a remix of this track. The overall instrumental, once again, I like the strings, and I like the lyrics, and I had fun. Took a trip on a Gemini spacecraft, and I thought about you. I passed through the shadow of Jupiter, and I thought about you. I shot my space gun, and boy, really felt blue. 2 or 3 flying saucers parked under the stars, winding screen, moon shining down on some little town. Will you hold hands with me under the moonlight? Took a trip on a Gemini spacecraft, and I thought about you. I mean, I'm definitely getting the Space Oddity and Ziggy Stardust vibes. Just him singing about the moon and space and spaceships and spacecrafts. I also love the part where he goes, whoa. I shot my space gun, and boy, I really felt blue. Now, someone's interpretation is he jacked off and he still felt sad because he missed her. Someone else thinks the song is a metaphor for sex, and it did kind of cross my mind just with some of the lyrics he chooses to use. I shot my space gun, and boy, it really felt blue. Definitely the most playful song on the album so far. So let's move on to track 9, 5:15, The Angels Have Gone.
I'm changing trains this little town. 5:15, no ticket. I'm changing time. All of my life, angels have gone. 5:15. Never talking long. Conversation. I
That was track 9, 5:15, The Angels Have Gone, and this is a beautiful song to listen to, but it's still quite sad, just like so many of the other tracks. And his vocals too, it's almost like he's yearning for something. I initially thought maybe this song was about suicide. 5:15, I'm changing trades. This little town that let me down. This foreign raid that brings me down. 5:15, trade overdue. Angels have gone. No ticket. I'm jumping tracks. I'm changing towns. We never talk anymore. Forever I will adore you. All of my life, angels have gone. I'm changing trades. Angels like them, thin on the ground, all of my life, all legs and wings, strange sandy eyes. So he's waiting for this train and it's not coming, it's overdue. And we never talk anymore, forever I will adore you. So he no longer talks to this person. And he's trying to go to a different town. Maybe he's moving somewhere and it's raining. And the angels have gone. All hope is gone, I guess. Cold station all of my life. Forever, I'm out of here. Forever. The title and lyrical theme of the song suggests a link to The Who's 1973 single 515. The Who's song 515 depicts the protagonist Jimmy Cooper taking a train journey to Sussex coast in which he ponders his past and disconnection. David Bowie's song shares The Who's notions of rootlessness and isolation. 515, The Angels of God, finds its narrator stranded in the rain, ticketless, faithless, on a cold station platform, changing towns to escape from a past life and a failed love affair. There's something quite introspective about this album, and sad, and this lost love, and just nothing going the way you wanted to in life, and just downbeat and down on your luck, and it's sad. This kind of reminds me of that Christmas movie, A Wonderful Life. But anyway, let's move on to track 10. Everyone Says Hi.
Said you took a big trip. Happened oh so quietly. They say should've took a picture, something I could keep. Everyone says hi. Said you sailed a big ship to say, like to know what's what. Everyone says hi. Don't stay in a sad place. Everyone says hi. If the money is housing, we can do all the bad things. We could do it, we could do it, we could do it. Everyone says hi. I'm the guy upstairs. Everyone says hi. And a big fat dog.
That was track 10, Everyone Says Hi, and another good song on the album. I'm running out of good things to say, honestly. Yeah, I like the production, I like the guitar riffs, I like blah blah blah. Honestly, it is what it is. I like it, just like all the other songs, and I like the melody. I like, I mean, everything I'm about to say I've said already about so many of the other songs, so I'm just kind of repeating myself. And also the violins, of course, were gorgeous. Said you took a big trip, they said you moved away, happened oh so quietly, they say. Should've took a picture, something I could keep. Buy a little frame, something cheap for you. Everyone says hi. Said you sailed a big ship. Said you sailed away. Didn't know the right thing to say. I'd love to get a letter, like to know what's what. Hope the weather's good. And it's not too hot for you. Everyone says hi. So maybe he's singing about this person who went away. They sailed away somewhere. And everyone says hi. Maybe he's writing them a letter. Everyone says hi. Back home. Even, was it the fat dog? And your big fat dog, everyone says hi. Or it could be about, I mean, this is sad. It could be about someone who's died. And you're writing this metaphorical letter to this person who sailed away into the afterlife. And you're saying, and you're asking them, hopefully where you are, it's good, it's not too hot. And by the way, your dog says hi, your big fat dog. Everyone says hi, your family, your friends. Now, the song was written for David's late father, Haywood Stenton, John Jones. When talking about the song, David Bowie said, "When my father died in 1969, I couldn't actually believe that he was not going to come back again. I kind of thought that he just put his raincoat and his cap on, and that he'd be back in a few weeks or something. And I felt like that for years. It really took a long time for me to be able to take in the fact that I wouldn't see him again." So this song was just a little simplistic reference to that, about how it always feels like somebody has gone on a holiday of some kind. And there is something sad about ships as well. That's why this person in the song doesn't go on a plane. A ship took them away. I was getting a little emotional there because, of course, I was thinking of my mom, which I'm sure you know already. I've said in so many of my videos already that my mom died back in March on my birthday, and my dad died in August, so it's still something I'm obviously coming to terms with, and it doesn't feel like they're gone. It really doesn't. I think my biggest concern is one day I'm gonna start to forget what my mom sounded like, her voice, and I'm gonna start to forget her mannerisms. I'll start to forget my dad's mannerisms and his voice over the decades, and that's probably my biggest fear. I guess just having to come to the realization that I'm gonna have to live the rest of my life, the next 30, 40, 50 years of my life without my parents. It's scary and it sucks. But I guess the way I can look at it is my parents are just on a prolonged vacation, and one day I will finally meet up with them again. But anyway, let's move on to track 11, A Better Future.
Please don't tear this world asunder. I demand a better future. Please make sure we live tomorrow. I demand a better future. Give them room and cloudless skies. I might just stop loving you, loving you, loving you. From flipping to feel, nothing is I might just stop needing you. I demand a better future, or I might just stop loving you, loving you, loving you. I demand a better future.
That was track 11, A Better Future, another great song. And I mean, I don't know what else to say, I really don't. Production's great, and his vocals, lyrics, everything about it was fantastic. I demand a better future, or I might just stop wanting you. I might just stop wanting you. Please make sure we get tomorrow. All this pain and all this sorrow, I demand a better future, or I might just stop needing you. Give my children sunny smiles. Give them moon and cloudless skies. I demand a better future, or I might just stop loving you. To be honest with you, I find the lyrics on this album to be absolutely profound and so strong, and I'm so proud of David to go to places that a lot of people are scared to go to. He's very honest. These lyrics are very personal about, obviously, death, loneliness, and falling out of love, and dealing with your own depression and demons, and finding happiness, I guess, in dark places. And it's a very powerful album to listen to. So we have made it to the end of the album, track 12, Heathen, The Rays.
Still on the skyline, Sky made of glass, made for a real world. Waiting for something, looking for someone. Is there no reason to say you'll leave me? And when the sun's low, I can see it now.
That was track 12, Heathen, The Rays, and this song perfectly concludes this album. And the overall instrumental was fantastic. Barely any lyrics, but it doesn't really need a whole bunch of lyrics, honestly. What he says is just straight to the point and very sincere. Steel on the skyline, sky made of glass, made for a real world, all things must pass. Waiting for something, looking for someone, is there no reason? Have I stared too long? You say you'll leave me, and when the sun is low, and the rays high, I can see it now. I can feel it die. There's a sort of bleak optimism when it comes to not just this song, but all the other tracks as well. I enjoyed the overall ambience of this track, and I thought it was a fitting conclusion. So that was all 12 tracks of Heathen by David Bowie, and I was blown away. I really was. This album is so good, and it's 100% one of his best albums since the Berlin trilogy. It's so cohesive from beginning to end. The beginning is just as good as the end. I like the stories and the songwriting on this album. The stories are so introspective, they're so personal and so real and sad. I mean, this is one of his most somber albums ever, if not perhaps his saddest album ever. It's so bleak. Like I said already, there's that bleak optimism, there's a sense of depression, and feeling afraid and worried, anxiety, and loved ones who have passed on, angels, and it's just a very emotionally stirring album. I loved the overall atmosphere, the ambience, and of course the instrumental of so many of these tracks, the guitar riffs and the violins and the synthesizers, and it's so haunting and chilling and at times exciting and fun to listen to. It's not the happiest album, it's not very happy at all. And there are a couple fun tracks, I guess, like track 8, I Took a Trip on a Gemini Spaceship. Honestly, that's the only fun song on the album. This album is such a crowning achievement for David Bowie, and I honestly have nothing but praise for this album. I will definitely be listening to this album again, but saying that, because it's not the happiest album, it's not typically a David Bowie album I would want to listen to all the time, just because of the overall tone and mood. It makes you feel things. It might bring up certain emotions that you've gone through in your life, or other people you have known, things they've gone through, and it really does stir something inside of you. I also want to comment on his vocals, because his singing also was quite beautiful. It's so tragic. That yearning and that sadness, and it was beautiful. So I think that's all I have to say on Heathen by David Bowie, And in my next David Bowie video, we will move on to 2003, so 1 year later, when he released Reality, his 24th studio album. I'm looking forward to that, of course, and thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on Instagram, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? And I'll see you next time. Take care.